Welcome to day 2 of the 2023 Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championship in Carbondale at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium. It is number 8 Drake looking for a little revenge from last year's tournament in the semifinals when they played Northern Iowa, the number 1 seed, coming off one of the most dominant regular seasons in Missouri Valley history. 1 day through, 4 games through, into this quarterfinal matchup with 8 teams of the 12 teams left. It all begins with number 1 Northern Iowa and number 8 Drake. We're glad you're with us with Laura Leonard, Connor Onion. Now let's start with Northern Iowa, the number 1 seed for the 2nd consecutive year. They've won 17 games in a row, program record.
Yeah, they are hot, and they are just doing it in a variety of ways. They're hitting the ball all over the park. They've got great pitching, great defense to go along with it. That's the makeup of a championship game or a championship team.
Well, they've lost just 1 game all regular season through 27 games, so a lot of keys for Drake to try to pull an upset today.
Yeah, and they're just going to have to play good, solid defense is what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to ride the momentum of their win yesterday. They got those key hits, and they need to score quickly. They have been beaten up on by Northern Iowa, and then the Panthers need to play loose and play relaxed, don't have that pressure on and get that table set, use those bombers behind those top 2 hitters and move them around the bases.
A loose table, that's the key. That's Laura's keys to the game, a production of Explore St. Louis. When making plans for your next trip to St. Louis, visit ExploreSt.Louis.com now. And the pitcher of the year in the circle for Northern Iowa, Samantha Heyer.
Yeah, she is really good, and she's got a variety of pitches. She'll go up, she'll go down. She's got a really nice changeup, and then she'll buzz you with a fastball every once in a while.
And Samantha Heyer will face this lineup for Drake. No changes from yesterday. They won 7-0 in their opening game against Evansville. Their lineup a presentation of Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. And there's Lehman and Voltman setting up that big hit, the grand slam that broke the game open as Drake got onto the quarterfinals.
Well, and talk about table setters, and this is the one for the Bulldogs in Lehman, and she gets on, she can run. They just have not had a whole lot of opportunities this season to move her around the base pass, but she's dangerous when she gets out there. And then you talked about Voltman right behind her, showing some pop yesterday, and her bat has gotten hot over the last couple of weeks.
And trying to do it against a pitcher that threw a perfect game last week. 5-inning perfect game against Evansville. As Heyer misses up and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, and with Northern Iowa, you come in to this tournament, you are playing as well as a team can play. Everybody's gunning for you. And you were kind of in the same position a year ago, and you got to that championship game and you got beat. And so they might put a little pressure on themselves coming into this ball game. So you have to put all that behind you. You just have to go out and say, let's do what we've done all season long, play softball, pitch well, hit locations, swing the bats, and they are, talk about murderer's row. They've got a lineup up and down 1 through 9 that is tough to get out.
A complete team led by Sam Heyer in the circle, beginning with a strikeout.
And she has just been dominant all season long.
Through the first perfect game in 9 years at UNI. With 10 strikeouts, too. Went 15 up, 15 down with 10 strikeouts last weekend. Now working to the second place hitter for Drake, Emily Voltman, who hit the grand slam yesterday. Late in the game, made it 7-0. And 2 upstairs. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
You certainly don't want to give Voltman anything that she can turn on and drive, and so they're trying to keep her up in the zone, see if they can get her to pop up.
And that 2-0 pitch right down the heart of the plate. And Heyer back in it at 2-1.
Bulldogs and the Panthers played 3 games this season. They alternated going to and from Des Moines to Cedar Falls, and Heyer pitched the first 2 games, 11 innings, total of 11 strikeouts in both of those games, only gave up 1 run in each one of those ball games.
ERA combined in those 2 games of 126.
She's just gotten better and better throughout the season. And I think she's kind of got it figured out. She's very comfortable. She's trusting her pitches and throwing them with confidence.
A breakthrough season for her, where she's become national powerhouse. Little dribbler, higher out of the circle, and a little bobble, and Voltman is safe at first. So first base run of the day comes with Emily Voltman on at first with one out in the first inning.
So her last at bat, as long as you could possibly hit it. This at bat, maybe as short as she could hit it, but got the spin. It had a little overspin, and it was a tough one. Higher takes a peek, I think, before she got that into her glove to see if she was going to be able to make that throw over to first.
Average exit velocity right at the speed limit. Her last two swings. Well, first pitch swing for Dighton, a little blooper, and it's caught by the second baseman Hogan, moving out into foul territory. Nice running play for Hogan, and she's part of this Northern Iowa defense. As we get a look at it, it's made possible by the Holiday Inn and Conference Center Carbondale, preferred hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference in Southern Illinois. We talked about this being a complete team that goes not only for their pitching and their hitting, but their defense too.
Defense has been really good. You've got to have all that. Everybody talks about how do you win softball games. Pitching and defense, that's the key. Yeah, you get your hits in there, but pitching and defense, and they have both of those, and they have the hitting to go along with it.
Northern Iowa defensively, .975 fielding percentage. That's third in the league. And Higher misses upstairs to Carrie Koenig, who had one of the big hits yesterday. Came through with a 2-run single in the fifth inning. Made a 1-0 game a 3-0 game.
Gave them a little bit of breathing room when they needed it.
And Drake was locked in a pitcher's duel for a lot of the opening round game against Evansville yesterday, and then it was Voltman's grand slam late on top of Koenig's big hit. Led to a quote-unquote blowout.
It did. I mean, it was. So the score is not indicative of what the game was up until that point. It was back and forth, and it was tight. And there were some tight moments for both teams, and they were able to dig out of it, make that one run stand up for a long, long time until they exploded for those extra insurance runs.
2 outs in the first, the 1-2 pitch. And he swung on and fouled back. In 3 of the 4 games yesterday, it was one big swing made the difference. It was Brenna Bloom's 2-run double in the Belmont win over Bradley, Voltman's grand slam and the Drake win, and it was the Carter home run for SIU, the only scoring in the final game, as Higher has her second strikeout of the first inning. And UNI hangs a 0, and the best offense in the Missouri Valley coming to the plate next.
Thanks.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is too spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
The most powerful ideas come from understanding. By asking what's important here. At Great Southern Bank, we start by asking our customers to find out how we're doing and what they really need. Then we get to work, making banking easier and more effective, financing more flexible, and our communities better places to live. It's an ongoing team effort to keep improving how we serve our neighbors day after day. And it all starts with understanding what really matters. Learn more at greatsouthernbank.com. Member FDIC.
It's more than an attraction, it's a destination.
Spend a day doing it all.
Can we go for a ride? That's amazing! So where's this?
It's all here at St. Louis Union Station.
Plan your visit at stlouisunionstation.com.
Northern Iowa had 9 all-conference players named yesterday. They are all up and down this lineup, presented by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow.
And it is tough, and all very deserving of those awards and honors. This is just a lineup that if you can hold them in check, then, man, I'll tell you what, kudos to you, because they are just tough outs, each and every one of them. They all do something a little different. Some have power, some can hit the gap, some are just singles hitters, but they know how to work together as a lineup.
It begins up here at the top with Kylie Sanders against Mackenzie Hupke, and a slicer foul for strike 2. So Hupke on back-to-back days, coming off a 7-inning shutout yesterday with 9 strikeouts. Over 100 pitches 24 hours ago, but Drake going right back to her.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about softball is you can go back-to-back days even if you've thrown a ton of pitches the day before. And you know what? In this situation, it's as we talked about yesterday, it's a one-game series. It's win or go home, and you've got to go with the players that have gotten you to this point. She's been the ace of their staff all season long. I think you got to ride that arm as long as you can.
Her 1-2. In the air, left field. This is playable for Haley Lehman, and there's out number 1.
And the thing yesterday that helped Hupke was the defense, and they were just really good. Error-free defense, and you got to have that.
That was a beautiful transition. You meant to do that. Here's a look at the Drake defense, made possible by Holiday Inn Conference Center Carbondale, preferred hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference in Southern Illinois. And it's the outfield that is the highlight of this Drake defense, and highlighted it a bit yesterday, but second base was the question coming into the tournament because Aubrey Beitzinger, regular starter there, is out for the tournament on crutches, but Wheeler in her chances yesterday was good.
Yeah, she was, and you have to have that mindset when you haven't played a ton all season long and player gets injured and now all of a sudden you're thrown into the fire, and you've got to have that mindset of, okay, it's my turn. I've got to perform. I've got to be good, and I can't make any mistakes, and I think that's the mindset that Wheeler has out there at second base is just, okay, my turn, my shot, let's give it a go.
Here's the freshman of the year in the league, Alexis Papillo, hitting over 400 in a season where it wasn't obvious that she was going to be the starting catcher. Emmy Wells had to get Tommy John surgery. One of the best arms in all of college softball behind the plate. Went out. Papillo, no questions about her hitting, but she's lived up to the expectation defensively too.
Yeah, she is. She's one of those freshmen that just came in and it was ready to play right away. It didn't matter what position. You knew the bat was going to be there. She has the pop and the power, and she really has performed. And when you see a team like this, you know when you get injuries and you just have to go to somebody on the bench and go, hey, you're not going to catch this year. I need you at third, or I need you somewhere else. And the kid goes, yeah, okay, great, let's do it. And doesn't fight it, just goes with the flow. That's the mark of a good team and a championship team. And I think we've seen that throughout the Valley where we've had injuries with teams and just replace them and maybe playing a little out of position, but they just take to that position and know they're going to have to perform.
And with all that, UNI has found a player that's going to be here a long time, hitting at a high level. First year out of high school, hitting .416 against this level of pitching. Whoa.
I know, that's impressive. It's going to be fun to watch her progress throughout her career, and a player that, in a roster of a lot of Iowa players.
Turns on that one and shows off some of that power that she's got. It's a long, spoiled pitch in Mackenzie Hupke's mind, though.
Yeah, and it just, okay, I got another strike. I got the strike on her. She didn't put it between the white lines, and so, all right, we'll take note of that and maybe change up the sequence a little bit. But they found her. She was what Coach Jacobs says is an internet find. They found her by looking at some film and that kind of thing.
Oh, turns on this one. Deep down the right field line. Is that fair? It is not. It is just foul. almost scraped the top of the foul pole. And then Papillo tomahawked one way out of here.
Wow.
But foul.
That was, I think the whole press box was leaning, trying to get a look down the foul line. And it just hung. And you're right, she went up, nice uppercut, drove it. And you're going to see that it just comes down on the other side of the foul pole.
I thought she was going to Carlton Fisk it.
Yeah.
Wave
exactly.
it fair.
See if she could get it inside the foul pole. But that shows your power right there. We saw a foul that was a line drive that she spoiled and then turns on that one. So if you get in her wheelhouse on the inside, she can turn on them and drive them. That one's gone.
She drives this one way out, and no doubt about it, Papillo keeps it straight and drives it out.
You could just hear it when it hit the end of the bat. And she drove it. She was able to, instead of turn on it, she stayed with it, stayed through, and drove it. And it was a battle. I mean, between Papillo and Hupke, they were kind of cat and mouse. I'm going to throw you here. I'm going to spoil that pitch. All right, I'm going to throw you in this quadrant. I'm going to foul that one off. And then Papillo won that battle.
Look at Tom Weber out there trying to catch a home run ball. Camera in hand.
Multitasker.
Well, Papillo, 16th home run of the year. She ties her teammate Maya Dodge for second in the Valley. And it does not stop, obviously. You've got 3 of the top 5 home run hitters in the league in this lineup.
Well, in the first game, with these two, it was a 9-1 win for Northern Iowa. Papillo had 2 home runs in that ball game. So she has seen Hupke very, very well. She's got her number.
Hupke behind after giving up the home run. And 3 straight out of the zone to Madison Parks. Remember last year's semifinal game, Drake and Northern Iowa, it was an 8-run first inning for UNI. They put that game away right away.
Yeah. And, and they've been doing that to everybody this year, though. I mean, they have been scoring a ton of runs. And you have that 1-2. I mean, you look at this top 3 in this lineup, they all can hit. They can all hit for power. It is just a tough lineup to go through.
4 straight outside. Hupke saying something to the home plate umpire. Thought that she had found the zone there, but 4 straight out of the zone, and Parks draws the walk. UNI put so much pressure on you to be so fine around those edges.
Yeah, you can't. They own the middle of the plate. You've got to own the corners and the inside and outside. You can't, but they're so disciplined at the plate. Eventually they work the count where you have to come in just a little bit closer to them. Now you have a base stealing threat on.
With the MVC Player of the Year at the plate, Maya Dodge in control of this count. 2 balls and no strikes. So Northern Iowa going 26-1. They have the coaching staff of the year, the player of the year, Papillo, the freshman of the year, who homered. And now this potent offense will face a new pitcher. Hupke coming out. Rich Calvert making a change, and will step aside. Northern Iowa leads it 1-0 on the Alexis Papillo home run.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long. The store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like?
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman at DQ for the new limited time summer blizzard menu? Like new peanut butter puppy chow. And s'mores is back.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right.
Hey guys.
The DQ summer blizzard menu. Hustle in.
DQ. Happy tastes good.
Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, the mark of a pro. Drake to the bullpen for the first time in this tournament. Going to it in the first inning with Emma Dighton relieving for Mackenzie Hupke.
She's more of a down ball pitcher, an off-speed pitcher. Doesn't maybe have as many pitches as Hupke does, but she's very effective with the ones that she throws. And you wondered, you had mentioned it at the beginning of the ball game, a lot of pitches yesterday for Hupke. She just could not find that groove again here to start this ball game, and you don't want it to get too far out of hand.
And Dighton coming in mid-count. It loses Maya Dodge, so they're at first and second with one out, with one run already in for the Panthers. How much of last year's semifinal game plays into the psychology here? That Northern Iowa scored 8 runs, it got out of hand early. How much of that goes into making a change at this point?
You know, I don't know if it's that makes that decision or if it's the 3 games that they played this season. Because none of them were close. UNI scored a lot of runs, 9-1, 9-2, 11-2. And so I think it's probably more of the 3-game series of, boy, we gave up a lot of runs. We're in a 1-game set here. We've got to win or go home, and we don't want to get this out of hand. So let's go with somebody and make that change. And then they may come back with Hupke if they can keep it here, and maybe she can settle in and find it later in the ball game. Just have to see how this one plays out.
One of 2 players for Northern Iowa hitting over 400 on the season. Addison McElrath at the plate. And the 1-1 just up. 2 balls and a strike for Dighton. You mentioned how she's mostly down ball pitcher. She will mix in some rise, a little bit of curve, but mostly down and off speed. That's what you're going to see from Dighton.
Yeah, and those are the ones that she's confident with and has really mastered.
There you go, bottom of the zone, at the knees, strike 2.
You know, McElrath is a player that was a pinch hitter coming off the bench for a good part of the year, and then they said they looked at analytics and the data and said, well, why don't we put her in the starting lineup and see what she does? And she's done nothing but hit. And so she's earned that spot and stayed in that spot and been very effective. I think took over for Hannah Kelly that was in that spot. So they just kind of flip-flop positions.
You know, there are people that fear that computers are going to take over the world. the quote from Ryan Jacobs kind of played to that, right? He was like, the computer told us to play her. We had to play her.
Right.
2-2. Driven in the air to left. Lehman has room and catches the towering fly ball. And McElrath down for out number 2 in the UNI bottom of the first.
Got up under that one. All of these Northern Iowa Panthers just have that big, powerful kind of uppercut to launch the ball. They think about launch angle and how they can get it out of the park.
A pitch to Taylor Hogan. It's low and outside. Yeah, with that launch, I think we've seen 2 of the most impressive fly balls in this tournament so far. One was a foul ball, one from Papillo. The other one was that ball launched out to left.
Yeah, they get the most out of their at-bats. I will say they are not cheated at all.
1-0 sneaks to the corner. And Dighton with that borderline strike. Those are the pitches you were talking about you got to have when you're facing this UNI offense.
Yeah, you've got to be able to get that call. You've got to find the zone. You got to be able to hit it because those are ones that they can't extend and drive the ball.
Bouncer to third, foul ball, foul ball. Kana got to it outside of the bag at third base. So bring Hogan back to the plate. It'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Dighton came in and walked Dodge, the hitter she inherited. Got the fly out to McElrath. Now 1 pitch away from getting Drake back to the bat rack in the second. Reached at, out to shortstop. Miller gobbles it up, and that's in time to first to retire the side. Alexis Papillo, one of the strongest players you'll find.
L'Oréal Paris introduces Color-Riche Intense Volume Matte, Shades of Conviction. Our first intense powdery matte, boosted volume, and up to 16-hour wear to empower every woman. Color-Riche Intense Volume Matte by L'Oréal Paris.
We're worth it.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like? Are there animals living underwater? Is the ocean warm?
Yeah, it can be very warm.
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
BK $6 your way deal for a limited time. It's a royal still. Burger, fries, and chicken fries all your way for a feast on a budget. Head to BK. BK, have it your way.
The Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championship is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your State Farm personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote now. Connor Onion with Laura Leonard. 1 run up on the board in the first inning. Alexis Papillo almost hit a home run, then really almost hit a home run, then actually hit a home run. 16th of the year for UNI. And behind the Missouri Valley Pitcher of the Year, back to work in the field in the second inning. For Drake, it's Sammy Miller to get it started, then Skylar Rigby and Addie Leitner.
You know, it could have been a lot worse for the Bulldogs. I mean, Northern Iowa's threatening. You know the lineup that they have. And they get out of that only giving up the 1 run. And so you've put yourself in a position. Just get runners on base. Don't need to hit it out of the ballpark. Just string some singles together. I know that's easier said than done against a pitcher like Heyer, but that's got to be the mindset. Make this defense work. Put it in play. Get some base hits. Maybe steal some bases. So you got to feel pretty good if you're the Bulldogs coming out of that first inning only down 1.
There's the 2-1. Big swing and a foul back, 2-2. That didn't look like a just put the ball in play type swing.
No, that was a tie it up kind of swing. But you know, you see that pitch and it's to your liking. It's right up there at the eye level, and you think you can drive that pitch one way or another. Find a gap, and you're on to start the inning.
2-2. And bounce foul. If you're Drake, you have the pitcher of the year in the circle. You've got an offense in UNI that averages 9 runs a game. Where ideally would you like the score to be in this game if you have your best chance to win it?
It's got to be a 2-1, 3-2 ball game, and you got to try to keep this offense down and not allow them to score those 9 runs that they're averaging. So if you can keep them at a 4-3, 2-1 type of game, then I think you have every shot at winning a ball game and pulling the upset.
Well, Miller down for the 3rd strikeout for Heyer, and every strikeout that Heyer has adds to the program record. 252 strikeouts in the regular season. Best single season strikeout year in Panther history. So up to 255 now. She gets Skylar Rigby with 1 out in the 2nd inning. You know, it seems like every year that Drake and UNI play, one of these teams has the pitcher of the year.
You know, that's a good point. Yeah, they match up, it seems like, all the time in the conference tournament. They either first round or semifinals, championship. You know, but you're right. They've always had good pitching, and you look at their pitchers. Both of these schools recruit the state of Iowa very heavily. Their pitchers are usually Iowa born and bred kids.
It's up high, 3-1. I think the exception in that run of good pitchers is Nicole Newman.
Yes.
Coming from Wisconsin.
Yeah, and how dominant was she? She was impressive and unhittable, and came back from huge surgery to that arm and just even stronger and better.
And Rigby walks, so second base runner for Drake against Samantha Heyer. Comes with 1 out in the 2nd. And Nicole Newman was the 3-time Missouri Valley Conference Pitcher of the Year at Drake. That was actually her run of potential 4 pitchers of the year in a row at Drake was broken up by a Northern Iowa pitcher. In 2017, Alyssa Buchanan won it. That's fouled off for strike 1. Daddy Leitner at the plate. Yes, 7 out of the last 8 Missouri Valley pitchers of the year have played at either UNI or Drake.
That's pretty impressive.
And Stephanie Dickerson had something to say about that last year.
Yeah.
Missouri State.
Boy, and was she good last year, especially in the tournament.
Two-way good.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she just, she got her team to that championship game and then just did a little bit of everything.
0-2 to Leitner, and she pops it up. And no play for Papillo. And for Northern Iowa, with this current pitching staff, they have 2 Missouri Valley pitchers of the year on it currently. And this year's pitcher of the year, Heyer, throws the 0-2. And that's outside. Narrow miss, outer edge. Leitner lives another pitch. Kaylin Packard will probably see it at some point either today or if UNI advances later in the tournament. She was the 2021 pitcher of the year.
Yeah, you have just 2 really good pitchers that are a little different from one another. Understand how to pitch, understand then when you get into a tournament, the intensity and the level kind of goes up a little bit, so you have that experience in the circle.
2-2 is cut on and missed. And 4 strikeouts, all swinging for Samantha Heyer. They're 2 away in the top of the 2nd.
It's a really good sequence by Heyer, moving the ball around the zone, and we talked about how she's an up and down pitcher, mainly moves it high, low, changes eye level, and I think you saw that in that at bat.
There's Heidi Wheeler with 2 outs. And Heyer trying to strike out the side. And on the inside corner, gets ahead. And we were talking to Ryan Jacobs about that. What do you feel like the nastiest pitch that Samantha Heyer throws is? It's like, you know, I feel like actually all of our pitchers have one of those. But they also have something that works off of that.
Yeah,
0-2.
That'll back it up. I mean, that you have one that you're real confident in, you can throw, and it's just a nasty pitch for a hitter to try to hit, and then they'll mix in something that'll just completely fool the hitter. And he says a lot of times the hitter will step out of the box and look at the third base coach and go, where the heck did that pitch come from? That's not what was on the scouting report.
0-2. She did hold up. Peel went down to third, and Wheeler did check. Yeah, it's that element of, you know, if you sit on a rise ball for Heyer, well, she's going to tunnel that drop off of it, you might be swinging top rail of the zone and the ball's at your ankles.
And that's what's made her so good, and just the pitch sequence and how she throws it and delivers it and locates it.
And it goes with the rise to strike out the side, and Heyer's got 2 scoreless innings.
Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like?
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
To the moms, mamas, and mumsies, they deserve the mother of all Mother's Day treats, a DQ cake. Layers of soft serve with fudge and crunch center. So let's raise our red spoons to a cake as sweet as she is. DQ, happy tastes good.
I'm your overly competitive brother.
Check.
Psych.
Really? Dude, that's a foul!
But now you're ready to settle a score. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate.
The Women's College World Series on the networks of ESPN.
The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN and ABC.
Indiana State won its opening game yesterday behind Lexi Benko, 4-1 winner over Valpo. They get the best pitching staff in the Missouri Valley Conference, Murray State, at least as far as ERA is concerned. And it'll be the 5-seed Indiana State against Murray State. Quarterfinal coming up, 1 o'clock Central on ESPN Plus, right after our game. Of course, you can make a pretty strong argument that UNI is strongest pitching staff. But as far as ERA, by I think 0.03 of a point, Murray State got them. So
they're all season long. I think every team has been pretty solid in the circle. It's been a good pitchers league this season.
Well, Brooke Snyder leading it off against Dighton and is in a 0-2 hole.
Coach Jacobs feels like she's probably having the best season of her career, has really worked hard to be more consistent at the plate.
A .333 hitter. She's been around that .250 range as a career hitter past couple of years. One of 6 on this team hitting over .300. And Dighton drops it low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the power for Snyder, especially coming out of the 7-hole, has been impressive.
Well, as we talked about, you know, top to bottom, anybody can hurt you in this lineup. And a lot of them with their power. And it just, I don't know what they're doing at Northern Iowa, but the way they train and they work and they watch a lot of film, and I think they just work a lot on mechanics and hone that swing and really develop some power in that upper body to be able to drive the ball.
One, 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think in a way you were giving a compliment to their strength staff. Is that where you're going with that?
You know, yeah, I mean, they just get stronger, and we even talked to Coach Jacobs about the arm motion and throwing from the outfield, and you asked him who the best thrower was on the team.
Snyder turns on it and just missed it. Base of the warning track, Lehman reels it in, and Snyder a couple feet away from her 13th home run of the year. Instead, out number 1.
Yeah, just missed it, just got up underneath it, and that was a good example of the swing and the way that they attack the plate. They get extension, just got a little bit underneath it and just a little thin maybe up on the upper part of the bat. But talking about throwing motion and that how their outfielders have gotten stronger with their arm and their throwing. And he said, who's the best thrower? And he said, well, it's Emmy Wells, and it's always going to be Emmy Wells. But they have had players that have come along and have worked really hard to develop how fast and how hard they can throw and how accurate.
And put it, Ryan Jacobs, UNI's head coach, put it in interesting terms. He said, we practice to practice. Some teams warm up to practice. We practice to practice, which sounded intense. We asked for an example, and we ended up going down a rabbit hole of that story at the UNI Dome where one of his players sniper rolled after he said, we need to work on having faster feet. One of his players trips over her feet, sniper rolls up, and he said, okay, that's not exactly what I meant when I said practice to practice.
Well, yeah, that was Kate Lappy, one of their freshmen who's going to be a really good player for them as her career moves on. And he said she's one of the ones that just kind of keeps things light and knows exactly when to maybe crack a joke and when to keep it in her back pocket. And that was one of the times that she kind of lightened the mood by tripping over her feet and making a joke of it. Good look at Coach Jacobs down there at that third base coaching box.
Moss is on. Here's Lamprecht. And first pitch from Dighton down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Former UNI baseball player.
Yeah, you asked him and said, did you ever think you'd be in softball? And he said, no, not really. I hadn't thought about it, but he was working with Coach Heller up at Northern Iowa and Coach Heller's daughter.
Lamprecht to center field, gives it a ride. Rice has it. And another towering ball. Looked like it got knocked down a little bit. And Lamprecht flies out to center, and 2 down.
Yeah, Rice did the right thing, took a few steps back, and then was able to come in on it initially. And I think, off the crack of the bat, you take your first 2 steps back against this team and then have the ability to right yourself and then read the ball and come in underneath it.
So back to the top with Kylie Sanders with 2 down. And that hits her. So first pitch hit by pitch. Sanders up to first, Moss up to second. 2 aboard, 2 outs for UNI. Back to that drive by Lamprecht. Wind is blowing in. So if you hit it high and to straight center, not quite as rapidly as the wind was blowing yesterday, but there is a little bit of a breeze that'll push balls back in toward the pitcher.
Yeah, and Sanders, she's a master this season of crowding the plate, getting hit by pitches. 18th time. Taking one for the team.
It's one way to have an on-base percentage of 500.
Hey, if it doesn't hurt you, take one for the team, and 2 outs, got a little rally going here.
I would guess Tina D'Angelo, the pitching coach for Drake, that was a matchup-specific conversation about who's coming to the plate for UNI. It's Papillo who homered first time up.
Yeah, and you want to say, hey, be careful, but you don't want to load up the bases either. You don't want to give her anything really good to hit, but they're going to, I think, pick around the edges on this.
And this is up. This was the first time. 3 swings that were really good. This was the one that she finally straightened out.
Just got the hips through it, able to keep the hands back and then drive it to center field.
1-0 to her, and this in the air to left. This is driven back there. Lehman at the warning track and has just enough room. Papillo in her first postseason at-bat ever homered. Almost made it 2 in a row.
La Roche-Posay Amphilio Sunscreen visibly reduces the appearance of sun damage. Fluid lightweight sunscreen with Cell Shield, UVA, UVB protection plus antioxidants. La Roche-Posay Amphilio Sunscreen, recommended by 90,000 dermatologists worldwide.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck. A place to gather or get away. This is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long. With store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like? Are there animals living underwater? Is the ocean warm?
Yeah, it can be very warm.
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
BK $6 your way deal for a limited time. It's a royal still. Burger, fries, and chicken fries all your way for a feast on a budget. Head to BK. BK, have it your way.
Well, if you tuned in yesterday looking for upsets, sorry about you. All chalk through the first day of the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. Brackets a production of Union Station St. Louis, home of attractions like the St. Louis Aquarium, the St. Louis Wheel. You can do it all at Union Station. To see where it takes you, visit stlouisunionstation.com. So yeah, all the higher seeds won yesterday, and you get 1 through 8 into the quarterfinals today.
And usually in this tournament, we have a stunner somewhere.
UNI, the top seed, hoping that it's all chalk the whole way. Well, yeah. maybe bottom part of the bracket. They wouldn't mind an upset or two.
Yeah.
Lighten up the path.
Yeah, they've been in the championship game the last 2 years.
And Michaela Rice through that. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the last 2 years, UNI has been there. In the last 3 tournaments, they've been there. 2020, of course, no tournament. 2019, they're right there on the doorstep of NCAA tournament. And swing and a miss. Only 1 out for higher through 2 1/3 has not come with a strikeout. She's got 6 already.
That one just jumped a little bit as it got to the plate. Rice swings right underneath that. Nice little rise.
Nothing looking yet either. Drake's swinging away. All 6 strikeouts swinging. And back to the top here with Haley Lehman.
I think you have to. She's going to be around the plate, so I don't think you can wait her out to try to get that walk. And yes, she has given up a couple of walks here. But, you know, you have to be able to be ready to swing because she's going to be around the plate, but she's going to make you chase after her pitch like we just saw.
That rise is so believable that it's going to be a strike. That one ends up at the eyes of Lehman.
And those are just, they're so hard to lay off of because when they're coming in, they look so good.
And she rushes it past the bottom of the zone.
Just a really good mix of how they're calling this ball game.
And 6 strikeouts in her pocket. And 2 strikes again. And a layoff of the rise for Lehman. It's got to be dizzying with your eyes as a hitter. Going up and down and seeing some velocity against higher. Not a comfortable at bat.
No, it's one of those where you have to go in and you know you're going to see everything thrown at you. You just have to find the one that looks the best to you.
Cut off by Snyder at third base and 2 away. Just the second ball put in play for an out in this game for Drake. And Snyder cutting this off before it could get to Sanders at shortstop.
And playing in with the left-hander up there, playing in a few extra steps, so could get to that one a little quicker.
So here's Emily Valtman. 1 ball and no strikes. Higher, rare time today where she's fallen behind.
Yeah, she does not fall behind very often. She's usually the aggressor, will come after, get that first pitch strike, get ahead in the count. That gives her the advantage to mix things up a little bit more.
3 balls, no strikes. And 7 of the first 10 hitters, first pitch strike 2. Did have the walk to Rigby in the second inning. 1 of 2 base runners Drake has had. Vaultman can set up the middle of the lineup if she reaches here. And Higher back in there with the strike.
See how Higher works back from getting down in the count.
And a chopper over the circle, out to second for Hogan. Off balance throw, not in time. Emily Vaultman, 2 infield singles, and she reaches with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd.
She's just getting enough of the bat on it and has pounded both of her hits into the ground in front of the plate. And it makes it very tough, just over the top of Higher. Hogan with a good effort. Made it very close over there at first, but Vaultman, known as long ball hitter, 2 short ones here today.
She's gone from long ball hitter to long strider, beating out infield singles.
Yeah, both of her hits, she had to hustle down the line, had to dig hard and get there ahead of the throw.
So here's Emma Dighton. Came in the first inning to pitch, hitting out of the 3 spot. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Dighton in the regular season, the leader in all 3 Triple Crown categories for Drake. 306 hitter, best in batting average for the Bulldogs, best in home runs and runs driven in. With 8 homers, 34 driven in. And fists that one foul.
Been a nice addition to this Bulldog team. Played at DMAC, Des Moines Area Community College, for a year. Was recruited early on by Rich Calvert and had an injury in her high school career, and so recruiting went a little different, and then she went the 1 year to junior college, and Coach Calvert picked it back up and opened the recruiting door again and got her back over to Drake.
And she absolutely smashed that ball up the middle. And back-to-back singles here for Drake, their biggest threat early in this game.
Dighton against against Higher in the first game, 2 for 3, and had another hit in game 2 against this Panther pitching. So she is seeing the ball well. She had a great day yesterday, was on base, and was part of those rallies for the Bulldogs.
And first pitch to Carrie Koenig down low. I was just thinking about asking you, do you think that this is a bloop and a blast type day if Drake's going to win? Infield single, 1 shot back up the middle. And now Koenig in a 1-1 count. I mean, is that the way that you beat a pitcher like Higher?
You got to have a little luck involved, and you got to have a little skill. And so maybe the luck part with Vaultman getting on with that little short hopper infield hit, and then Dighton following up with a smash right back up the middle. And so, yeah, it could be that bloop base hit, just try to move station to station to see if they can push a run or 2 across.
And going to be hard to drive one out today. Here's a blooper. Hogan going back and makes the twisting catch. Almost got your blooper. But Hogan makes the play and keeps it a scoreless.
The GMC Sierra with hands-free driving. Yeah, it rocks. Step up to GMC with 0.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on Sierra light-duty models. We are professional grade GMC.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season. your space and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like?
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger with house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You're taking this backyard thing really seriously. Oh, I get it. It's a tasty-looking burger. DQ, happy tastes good.
Winner of this tournament will hear their name called on Sunday, 6 o'clock Central Time on ESPN2. It's the NCAA Softball Selection Show. You can also go to ncaa.com/WCWS. Download the bracket, get game times, broadcast info, all that good stuff. And Drake trying to go back for the first time since 2019. And they won back-to-back. It's been a little while for UNI. 2013.
They've had the opportunities, though. They've let them slip away, and boy, they have a great shot this year.
Even in non-conference with the 17-game winning streak. Picked up that win on the road at Iowa a couple of weeks ago. It was a postseason-like feel for that game. There was a big crowd. Obviously, the proximity plays into it. Going to Iowa City. Northern Iowa having their big winning streak. Kept it going. Bring a 17-gamer into this tournament.
Well, and you think, Iowa maybe on the bubble as an at-large team, that they could have used that win to further their resume. Northern Iowa does further their resume with the win over Iowa. And Northern Iowa started out the season 0-6 and able then to reel off all these wins. And since that, 38-5 since that 0-6 start. So, they got things figured out early on. And then you get to this point of the season, and as you said, Coach Jacobs said it was kind of like a NCAA tournament appearance, a tournament game. And he said, all right, let's kind of use that and get that mindset of playing that way from here on out and get ourselves ready to be tournament tested.
And Madison Park struck out to begin the inning. Maya Dodge at the plate. Ryan Jacobs said that their goal, or really their expectation when the streak started, was this bounce to third base, picked by Koenig and across. Easy work for the third baseman Koenig, and 2 up, 2 down in the third inning. But the idea was that, if they went 6-6 in the stretch when their winning streak started, that would be a win. Well, it turned out they won every single game. They went 12-0 and won the next 5, and now it's a 17-game winning streak.
Yeah, you said that there was that 12-game stretch that you look at on the schedule and think, okay, here's who we have. If we can come through that with this record, then we'll be sitting in pretty good position. Well, they did more than that, and he kind of felt like that was at the point where his team kind of settled in and just was all on the same page and working together, and he knew that he has something special here at Northern Iowa this season.
And Dighton working to McElrath. 2 balls and no strikes. I'll tell you, Dighton's done a nice job since she came in right after the home run. Nothing across against her.
She can be that kind of a pitcher, that dominant pitcher. We said maybe not as many pitches as Hupke has, but she's got 2 that she really likes to throw and is very confident in. Will mix in another pitch here and there, but she's done a good job of coming in and holding this powerful lineup at bay.
Back to the middle, Miller scoops it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dighton in the circle in the bottom of the third. Keeping Drake right there, trying to pick up the first upset of the Missouri Valley Tournament.
You know those days when the alarm app betrays you, or your blind date turned out to be your cousin? We've got the beer for that. How about those shining times when your team finally wins or the vacation with the in-laws gets canceled? We've got the beer for that. In our 30-year history, Schlafly has seen it, done it, and brewed it. Whatever kind of day, mood, situation, or occasion, we've got the beer for that.
One thing that I always look for is the grip and how good it is. Another thing too is how big the sweet spot is. Just knowing like even if I do get jammed, if I have a big enough sweet spot, I could still possibly get away with something. The mantra sweet spot will give people that extra oomph that they need in the ball. Nothing sounds better than a mantra when you make solid contact with it. You just hear the
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before or to start with a clean slate. Because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championship is brought to you by Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. We've got a little sunshine in Carbondale. Everybody yesterday was talking, oh, I don't know if we're going to play the 10 o'clock game. It's probably going to rain. Gorgeous as we go to the fourth inning.
Should we just keep talking about it?
Oh, bunt. Papillo fields it, throws on the run to first, not in time. Oh, a beauty for Drake to begin the inning with Sammy Miller. And the leadoff runner is aboard, and the tying run is aboard for the Bulldogs.
You mentioned it. Maybe a little base hit, a little bunt, a little bloop. And that's what the Bulldogs are doing. And I love the idea. Put it down, surprise the defense. They're playing back at the corners. A player that's maybe not expected to bunt, lay it down, and she did it perfectly.
Another bunt shown, taken for a strike by Rigby. That ball was probably going to spin foul, no?
I don't think so, and we could probably take another look at it, but I think that was one. It was far enough in the infield that it probably, either way, you know, if you let it sit there or make that play, she's going to be at first.
Rigby gets the bunt down, Hires only plays to first, and back-to-back bunts have tying run into scoring position with one out for Drake.
Now we're going to have a change and a pinch hitter. I believe it's Paige Bedsworth.
It's Bedsworth, both an outfielder and a pitcher for Drake. Come up and pinch hit in this spot for Addie Leitner. Bedsworth does not have a hit in almost a month. This would be a huge spot to come through in. Her last hit was April 14th against Illinois State.
Well, if you're the Bulldog dugout, you're going, she's due. You know, I mean, that, and she's been a good hitter. She's been in and out of the lineup, played some different positions in the circle, in the outfield. And last year showed that she had a pretty good stick at the plate.
1-0. Popped up, out to short. And Sanders makes the catch. So Bedsworth in as the pinch hitter. It is out number 2. And that tying run still standing at second.
Hey, let's go, Chris. Let's go. Do it. Do a job. Let's go.
Calvert, Coach Calvert going to the bench again, seeing if he can find that magic, that one player that can get that base hit to drive in Miller to tie this thing up.
So this was Heidi Wheeler's spot in the lineup. Kristen Arias is the pinch hitter in this spot. And Drake trying to turn a bunt single into the game-tying run. And Arias takes a strike.
And you're in the part of the ball game where you have to start doing these things. You have to make some adjustments. You've got this opportunity, and these opportunities could be few, and far between. So when you have that, you got to take some chances.
Arias lays off the rise ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And you're giving a couple different players a new look at Hire, too. And Hire pours it in for strike 2.
And with all the data that is out there, everybody has a scouting report on everyone that comes to the plate, and they're over there in the Panther dugout knowing exactly how they want to pitch Arias.
1-2 is fouled off. Got a late swing at it. Stays in there, though. Rich Calvert was talking about Arias this week, about how she's been a role player most of her career, but smile came on his face when he said that it's good to see her contribute this year, get a shot to, catch a little bit, be a starter at times. They've used her as a designated player in some spots. This the biggest spot she's been in all season. Postseason with her team down 1 run. Tying run at second, the 2-2. Swing and a tip foul. Did just get a little piece of it.
Very little piece of it.
Very little piece.
And Papillo could not hang on to that.
Maybe just the bottom lace of the ball there.
Just enough to give herself another opportunity. That's what you're looking for as a hitter in this spot.
Another break even. Right down the middle, strike 3. So Drake making changes, trying to manufacture runs, but that tying run.
La Roche-Posay Amphilio Sunscreen visibly reduces the appearance of sun damage. Fluid lightweight sunscreen with Cell Shield, UVA, UVB protection plus antioxidants. La Roche-Posay Amphilio Sunscreen, recommended by 90,000 dermatologists worldwide.
I'd do anything.
My baby's got a sensitive stomach.
My baby needs something for her skin.
Have you tried Hill's Science Diet, Sensitive Stomach and Skin? It's gentle on dogs' tummies and helps nourish their skin and coats.
PetSmart, anything for pets.
Wait, Dad. What's the ocean like?
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long. With store-wide savings at the Home Depot, how doers get more done.
It's called the juice. It adds that jazz to your sub. Add a flavor zing with the juice.
Our game recap is a production of Live by Lowe's, and it's one big swing. Alexis Papillo, 16th home run of the year, and Samantha Hires taking care of the rest so far for the Panthers.
Yeah, she really has kept the Bulldogs in check. They've had a couple of opportunities, but strikeout down in the zone, strikeout up in the zone, and let's go a little higher in the zone. And that has kept the Bulldogs off balance.
We were talking rise balls yesterday, and you were going knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Thought you were going to go, can we get much higher? So high. Here's Hogan leading it off. Bottom of the 4th in a 1-0 game. And Dighton goes up top, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, you said between innings, how many more opportunities are the Bulldogs going to have? And I think Northern Iowa will give an opponent maybe 1, maybe 2 opportunities to try to score. And other than that, it's been Hire closing the door down. So you got to try to take advantage. And they did. I mean, the Bulldogs did what they needed to do, put in some pinch hitters. They had that runner out there tried to give themselves the best shot at trying to get that run across, and higher was just too much.
And Drake doesn't have a hit outside the Dighton single back to the middle that's gone out of the infield. Got 4 hits. They've had base runners on. A couple of infield hits and a bunt hit. Taylor Hogan draws the leadoff walk. Well, this has been the part with Emma Dighton in the circle that's given Drake those chances. Going back to last year's semifinals and the 2 regular season games, Northern Iowa won comfortably, sweeping all 3 games in the regular season. But Dighton has kept Drake in touch, and she puts it past Snyder for strike 1. What was the interesting thing about the schedule this year was that you have 12 teams in the league now. You don't see 2 teams, and then the series that you have against your quote-unquote travel partner, closest team in the league, you play 3 games against them, but they're spread out over a month. So they were individual midweek games that Drake and Northern Iowa played against each other that collectively made up a 3-game series.
And I kind of like that setup with whoever your travel partner is. Usually close in proximity, that you can make those midweek games that you travel to and then back to the other school. One school gets to host 1 game, the other gets to host 2, but kind of a nice way to break up the week, having just that 1 game in the middle.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it works out with Northern Iowa and Drake being close enough that they can do that. No doubleheader involved either. Southern Illinois and Missouri State this year, doubleheader here, 1 game in Springfield in the midweek. 2-2. The runner's going, and no play at second base. Hogan's in there safely.
Picked a good pitch to go on. That one was in the dirt. Rigby could not pick it out of the dirt, and you just kind of had that feeling. You knew Hogan was a base stealer. They were going to send her, got a good count to go on, and she got a really nice jump, and it was a tough one for Rigby to pick up.
So RBI chance for Snyder in a full count. Swing and a miss. Dighton, an important strikeout with an insurance run at second base. And there's 1 away, bottom 4.
Got her to chase with that pitch, and it was an important pitch and an important out for the Bulldogs to try to keep Hogan out there at second base. Works away from Snyder, just could not catch up to it.
So we saw the changes for Drake, going back-to-back pinch hitters. Now UNI with their first player off the bench, Hannah Kelly. Quad Cities native from Davenport, Iowa. And swings and is ready to hit right off the bench. It's off the glove of Rice. And here comes the second run for Northern Iowa. Hogan touches the plate, and all it took was 1 pitch and 1 swing, cold off the bench for Hannah Kelly, and it's 2-0 UNI.
Well, we touched a little bit upon that Addison McElrath was that player that was called upon to be the pinch hitter in early season, and she would come in and produce, and so they decided to put her into the starting lineup, and Hannah Kelly then goes into that role, and she's doing the exact same thing that McElrath did. Come in, hey, you're getting the call from the dugout, you got to come in, score us a run. She did. First pitch swinging right back up the middle.
Cooper is into pinch run. So revolving door at that 8 spot. It was Sammy Moss, pinch hitter Hannah Kelly. Kelly is run for. And it's Cooper at second now with a 2-0 lead. As here's Lamprecht. Well, you were talking in between innings about how UNI almost has like an assembly line going of players timing up the pitcher, and then also players down in the bullpen that are timing up when to steal a base too. This is golf to right. Valtman moves over and makes the catch. Tagged from Cooper at second, and the throw to the infield is cut off. So productive out for Lamprecht. Advances the runner down to third. Now it's 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth.
And Lamprecht in that number 9 spot, Coach Jacobs said a lot of kids really get caught up in where am I hitting in the lineup, and if I'm not in the top 4 or so, then they kind of get a little down on themselves. But said this team, and especially Lamprecht at that number 9 spot, she's so good at turning the order over, putting him in position now, moving the runner up to third base. She just does a great job, and she kind of takes pride in being that number 9 hitter, and everybody in the dugout gives her high fives, kudos for nice job turning that lineup over and getting us into position where they may be able to, on a wild pitch or something that might happen, get that runner in for the third run.
Yeah, I understand a batting average in the 200s. Not going to catch your eye too much, especially in a lineup that has 6 300 hitters. Yes, Lamprecht turns the lineup over, but she also has 8 home runs out of the 9-hole.
Yeah, I mean, so if you forget about her and you overlook her, she's going to burn you.
And a good example in this spot of her moving a runner, though. Getting it back to Sanders at the top of the lineup. And Dighton low and in, 2 balls and a strike.
If you're Dighton, just forget about that. Got that other run put up on the board. You're still very close. You got 2 outs. Just get out of this inning. That's got to be the mindset.
3-1. Well, and opportunity scarcity for their offense, too. With higher in the circle, they've had 1 shot with runners at first and second, their best chance. That second run, massive. Third run.
Would be even more, and that would be very tough to overcome. But just think about how Northern Iowa manufactured that last run.
That is a fair ball down the line for Sanders, and the third run does come to the plate, and Sanders up to second base with an RBI double. There is that second insurance run for the Panthers. Back at the top with Kylie Sanders, making it 3-0.
Boy, what a great job of adjusting at the plate and turning on that one. Just sneaks it down the line inside the first base bag, out to right field, and they get run number 3.
And now it's Papillo who drove in the first run by herself. Just the left of center field. 16th home run of the year, now second in the Valley. And Dighton won't get the call on that pitch that started low and inside. Well, let's see it again. Home run for Papillo.
Look how quiet she is at the plate. Just kind of gets those hands back, the momentum back, turns the hips and drives it.
And Papillo's a very impressive player in the weight room, as that's a one-hopper. Nice play by Wheeler. Remember, not their typical starting second baseman, playing for Aubrey Beitzinger, and Wheeler retires the side. UNI gets
New Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris. 20 times more volume, up to 2 times more length. A clump-resistant caring formula, now infused with floral oil.
Take your lashes to paradise.
New Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like?
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman at DQ for the new limited time summer blizzard menu, like new peanut butter puppy chow, and s'mores is back.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right.
Hey guys.
The DQ Summer Blizzard menu. Hustle in.
DQ. Happy tastes good.
We love our new home,
Great neighborhood, big backyard.
but the lamps. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We saved a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
So Samantha Hires a pretty good pitcher. She's the best pitcher in this conference this year. She also has a 3.95 GPA, majoring in biology, and is in the circle today for Northern Iowa. She's our MVC Scholar Athlete of the Game, presented by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So she built on what was a second-team All-MVC pick last year and turned it into a national name in college softball and the pitcher of the year in this conference. And first pitch of her fifth inning is bunted foul by Michaela Rice. A little bit more comfort going back out to the circle after 2 insurance runs in the bottom of the fourth for UNI.
Gives you a little more flexibility on how you're going to work these hitters, and looks like the Bulldogs are determined to play a little small ball, try to get themselves on base.
1 ball, 1 strike. And Drake was trying to capture some of that 2015 reverse psychology. Rich Calvert mentioned the Indiana State run in 2015. They were an 8 seed, won the Valley tournament. This is bunted over the pitcher, out to Hogan at second, and that works. All right. Jabbed at it, bunted it over the circle, and Rice with a bunt single.
Well, we've seen in this tournament that throughout the years that a team with a lower seed can get hot and can go all the way to the championship game and win it. So Bulldogs kind of hoping for that kind of magic, and telling you what, they're pulling out everything. They're trying to get themselves and put them into position to score some runs.
Lehman bunts that foul. She didn't mean to do that, right? There's no way. The bunt, yeah.
The last base hit?
Was that bunt intentional to dump that over Hires' head?
You know, she was bunting for a base hit and got up underneath it. I mean, the way they pitched her, it got up and it just fell. Probably not intentional, but it worked out that way. And any way that you can get on base, they're trying to make this defense move and work and trying to maybe force them into an error somehow. And even if you see with Lehman up there, corners are going to be charging, especially over there, Snyder at third. She's charging hard. If you can do the same thing, pop it up over her head. If she charges too hard, you're going to get 2 runners on.
And 0-2 is just out. And this is back at the top with Haley Lehman. I was going to say, that is incredible barrel control.
Right.
If that was intentional.
Now, if you ask her after the game, she'll say, sure, I placed it there. I wanted to get it in that spot. But she, you know what? Bulldogs are happy she got on base to start the inning. And they've had the leadoff runner on a couple of different times. Had opportunities. And so if you have to play small ball to get yourself into position, then so be it.
Over in Asia, they do a bunting contest. My nominee is Michaela Rice after that bunt. It's fouled off by Lehman. It's like the home run derby of bunting. Have you seen it? They put targets down along the first and third base line.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's like you're playing darts with bunts. And Drake needs 1 more to reach to get that tying run back to the plate. Break-even pitch. Upstairs. So Lehman has fought back from 0-2. Worked the count full.
Deep breath for Lehman, just going to step in there, make a little contact, shorten up.
Payoff, swing and a miss. And Hire saw Lehman work her full, but gets the strikeout.
Made her go after a pitch up in the zone. Maybe got a little too anxious. 8 strikeouts now for Hire. And earlier, Packard was warming up a little bit in the bullpen for the Panthers.
Emily Valtman waves and misses. The bullpen looks quiet now.
Somebody's down there throwing, but we're kind of blocked by the tent.
Looks quiet to me.
From your angle.
From my angle. 1 ball, 1 strike. There we go. It's Wisnowski now. Ground ball right side. Oh, what a snag. Lamprecht to the bag for the out. Oh, how did she do that? Ball was basically into right field and reaches back and over her head to get the out.
You talk all the time about the hot corner at third base. There's a hot corner here at first. What a great play. Just a reaction. Saw that ball go up, able to elevate and get it. And get 1 out. Looked at second, thinking maybe we can get a force there, but thought better of it and got the out over at first.
So it's up to Emma Dighton after that gem over at first for Lamprecht. Wow. That might go for extra bases too.
Oh, if it gets over her head, yeah, that's might even score a run for the Bulldogs. She got speed out there at second base.
You were complimenting the UNI strength staff before for all the power they have hitting. Mobility exercises paying off big time there.
Yeah, timing and just reaction time as well over there, especially with a left-handed hitter up. You've got to be on your toes over there at first base.
Laura, that hurt my shoulder watching that.
That that's just a good athletic play over there at first.
3-0 pitch. And Dighton taken all the way. And the tying run will come to the plate for Drake in the top of the 5th. They're at first and second with 2 down.
Just missing the mark, maybe being a little careful with Dighton over the 3-game series. She collected 5 hits against the Panther pitching. So maybe just saying, okay, we don't want to give her anything really good. We'd be okay if we put her on.
Pitch to Koenig is fouled off. Does Koenig have a moment in her bat? She's had some big games the final couple of weekends for Drake.
She started to come on the last few. Had a base hit yesterday. A couple of RBIs.
It skips in past Papillo, and both runners move up.
Now it becomes a little more interesting. The free pass to Dighton. Now you have 2 runners right there and a big moment for Koenig.
Think back to the insurance runs you and I just got. Little different spot if those 2 runs didn't score. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ball drops off the table. It's 1-2.
Boy, and a rip as well. Koenig was trying to put everything she had into that swing.
Koenig has 1 home run. Came against Belmont. Ground ball, third base side and through for a base hit. Drake scores 1 run. Here comes the second run to the plate, and they score 2 with Koenig. Another clutch RBI hit on back-to-back days in the Valley Tournament. And Drake is within 1 run to the top of the 5th.
That is a clutch hit right there. It hops over Snyder's glove and into left field. And Coach Calvert sending Dighton all the way. Just a hot shot. And Snyder maybe pulled her head a little bit as that ball came to her, but it got to her in a hurry as they try to pick off Koenig sliding into second.
So tying run at second, and that's up and outside. Sammy Miller. Well, some would call it a clutch hit. We'll call it clutch contact officially as far as the official scoring. Error on the third baseman, Snyder. Drake doesn't care about what the book says. They got 2 runs on the board and can tie it with a base hit now.
And again, going back to those insurance runs that Northern Iowa was able to get in the bottom of the 4th, those are huge. They're standing up. Now we're back to where we were, the 1-run ball game. And, you know, you wonder, you go back out to the circle, have that 3-run lead, and you maybe just relax a little bit too much, maybe aren't as fine with your pitches and as accurate with your pitches as you were early on, because you do have a little bit of freedom. And Bulldogs stepped right up there and took advantage of some pitches that just missed and were able to get 2 runs in.
Here's the 1-0. And there for a strike. That's where Ryan Jacobs, UNI's head coach, was so complimentary of Monica Wright as pitching coach in understanding the emotional needs of his players individually.
And everybody's different. And Coach Wright does a great job of connecting with each of the pitchers and knows how to calm them down. Great example right there, coming out, talking to Heyer and saying, okay, we still have the 1-run lead. You've pitched from this position most of the ball game, so let's just settle down. Let's go after the hitter.
It's Koenig at second as the tying run. Reached on the error that scored 2 runs. Pitch to Miller. Is in there for a called 3rd strike. Call that a pitching coach strikeout. Getting Heyer refocused with 3 strikeouts in a row. But Drake is within.
$6 your way deal at BK. All your taste buds will say hooray. And for just $6, your wallet will too. When hunger calls, you know what to do. BK, have it your way.
Hot nuts, popcorn, bundling
nuts and popcorn and savings. Just like bundling your home and car with Geico.
Whoa! Hey, I know you.
Yeah, hi.
Now, you know, the guy who helped me bundle my home and car, he's great.
Probably thought you were somebody else.
Geico.
The GMC Sierra with hands-free driving. Yeah, it rocks. Step up to GMC with 0.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on Sierra light-duty models. We are professional-grade GMC.
Welcome to the final push, where legends break through and legacies are etched in gold. It's playoffs time, and whatever happens next is going to be beautiful.
It's action-packed. It's adrenaline-filled. It's must-watch.
It's going to be special. It's going to be a fun year.
Guardians, Mets, MLB stars take the stage on Sunday Night Baseball.
The Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championship is brought to you by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. Sun shining, tight game, softball heaven from Carbondale.
It is.
I'm glad you agree.
We're hoping it stays this way, weather-wise, for the entire day.
I know. Here comes the paranoia all over the ballpark. Yeah, we've had gorgeous weather for this opening game of the second day in the quarterfinals. 1-run game. Dighton back to work. Little flare, and that's foul. Ooh, Sammy Miller going superwoman dive over there.
Yeah, she gave a great effort. Landed hard. 3 players converging on that one. And it drops harmlessly in foul territory. Gives Parks another opportunity. Gotta like the effort, though.
Tough part of the lineup for Dighton. This is Parks out of the 3 spot getting it started. And it's 1-2. And 2 runs coming across. Hard contact from Koenig. Led to an error at third base. 2 runs coming in. After Northern Iowa had just added 2 insurance runs in the bottom of the 4th last time they were up there. Two-strike deal. Laser up the middle and past the glove of Rice and traveling all the way to the wall. This will allow Parks to round second, head to third. She gets the green light. Here's the play at the plate, and she is out! What a relay for Drake, saving an insurance run.
Wow! Was that a sequence of events? As Rice comes in charging that ball, she did that earlier. Ball didn't get that far behind her, but this one goes all the way to the wall. And what a relay to be able to get her at the plate. Just gets the tag on the shoulder before she gets down. That is one heck of a play, and that's how you practice it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You get the backup, and you get the cutoff, and then you turn and you fire. And really the initial look by Miller, I think, was to third and realized that she had turned the corner and was coming home and threw a strike.
And great job on the back end for Rigby. Swipe the tag and hold on. That ball started creeping toward the top of the webbing of the glove. And a lot of things had to go right there for Drake to get the out and keep it a one-run game. And turned on and whacked foul by Dodge. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
In game 2 against the Bulldogs, Dodge had a home run and a triple. In game 3, another home run and a double.
One, two. Ripped out to center field. Rice going back. That ball's gone. Maya Dodge goes deep, and it's 4-2 UNI.
Adds another home run to the total against the Bulldogs. Went down in the zone and hit it to dead center. And you could see Rice was going to turn. She was going to try to get back to the wall. Stays back, gets that plant leg down and drives it. And Rice hustling back and ran out of real estate.
So Dodge steals the team lead back from Papillo in home runs. And their 17th of the year. There's strike 1 to McElrath. And Papillo tied her for second in the Valley earlier in the game.
Panthers starting to come around again, hitting-wise. Had an almost inside the park home run. Then they get the one out of the park home run.
Would have been fun back-to-back home runs.
That would have been an interesting back-to-back home runs. The Bulldogs defense stepped up and was able to shut down Parks at the plate, but then Dodge said, you know what, I'll show you that I can knock it out of the park.
Oh, another one that gets past an outfielder. Vaultman doesn't let it get too far away, though. Holds McElrath to a single.
These hits to the outfield are sinking on the outfielders, and they're charging, and they're just far enough out that the way the Bulldogs are playing defense, they're having to make that charge, and it's sinking quickly on them, and they can't get to it.
And it looks like Hupke is coming back in for Drake in the circle. 2-run game, bottom of the...
The sandwich makers at Jimmy John's bring you the new, irresistibly decadent fudge chocolate brownie. And if you're saying, that's not a sandwich, then what about now? So good, it's here for good at Jimmy John's.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like? Are there animals living underwater? Is the ocean warm?
Yeah, it can be very warm.
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
Golf to me is patience. That next round, that next shot, you know, it could be that start of a story.
It's weird to say, but golf is life.
It is. It's the ultimate game of life. I don't even want to say a game. It's more than a game.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by Rawlings, official softball, the Missouri Valley Conference, and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings is the mark of a pro. And it's a call to the bullpen, kind of. It's a re-entry for Mackenzie Hupke, who started this game and was pulled in the first inning.
We thought we might see her back in the circle to finish out this ball game, and credit to Dighton, who did a wonderful job of keeping the Panthers in check, and as they've done all season long, just started timing Dighton and starting to get the good swings on him. And so why not change it up, show him a little bit different look, different speed.
Well, that's been the pattern for Rich Calvert to make pitching changes in this game. Home run, next runner reaches, and then the hook comes. Because it was 3 batters in. As runner takes off, and Erpelding is into second base safely. Pinch runner taking off with ball in hand for Hupke.
Nobody paying attention. Erpelding assessed the defense, seeing that the Bulldogs not really looking. Nobody at second. Takes advantage.
Popped up, foul territory, and safely down for a foul ball. Wheeler had a long run at it. Leitner gave it a look. Harmless for strike 1.
But a chance with that surprise stolen base. Now you have the opportunity to get those runs back that you gave up. Get that cushion again.
And poked foul. I want to go back to what you were talking about with the physical engagement of UNI with their bench players. How they're all up and all engaged, doing something active, even if they're not playing. Hannah Kelly comes in, pinch hitter. First pitch, ready to go. Erpelding, first pitch as a pinch runner, steals second base. I think there's something to that.
Yeah, they're engaged. They're engaged in the game, and you never know when you might be called upon. And so you have to have your mind in the game. And I think this Panther team does. They know what their strengths are, and they take advantage of every one of those strengths.
Hupke with their first strikeout of the game. Gets Hogan upstairs. So here's Brooke Snyder. Another insurance run out there, bottom 5. And low and out, 1-0. UNI with the top offense in the conference, and that comes with lined-up depth. We were never out of it down at this part. As Hupke gets the call, the appeal down to first base. It's a strike. First pitch, a delayed called strike. I guess they got the delayed. Okay. All right, so it is no balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's 1-2.
Well, if you look over at third base, Koenig's over there standing on the base just in case Erpelding thinks maybe he'll try it again. Go second to third. She's staying at home right there.
1-2. Understandable why that would create a little anxiety for the defense after Erpelding took off out of nowhere.
And that's just a great read by Erpelding, just seeing what's going on. Nobody looking at second, nobody coming over to get close to the base. Had the opportunity to surprise them.
Oh, good work for Hupke, re-entering in the circle. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. She keeps it a 2-run game. To the 6th we go in Carbondale.
Jake from State Farm. I really want that personal price plan, so I'll admit it. I'm a bath bomb guy.
Dude, you do not need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
For real?
Who's ready for their jazz bath? No?
Who is that guy?
Jazz bath? Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
People overlook the Midwest, but the Lou represents.
St. Louis is happening.
It's a great destination on its own.
We got music.
Forest Park.
Sports.
The history.
The Magic House.
We got food.
Great museums and attractions.
I like roller coasters.
You have to hit up the zoo, one of the top zoos in the country.
St. Louis has it all from A to Z.
St. Louis is cool. We're really funny, and we're fun.
When you give the gift of Metro Transit,
Let's go.
you're opening up a whole world of possibility. Hop aboard and see the sights, or set your sights on a St. Louis adventure. Give the gift of possibility with the Metro Transit Pass today.
This year is the 50th anniversary of Title IX. To learn about the MVC's Title IX recognition plans, mvc-sports.com/Title950 is the best way to learn more about how the Valley is honoring pioneers from the league schools who've helped pave out chances for female athletes at the current Valley schools. We go to the 6th. It's a 2-run game. Eventful last inning. Drake scores their first 2 runs. Almost a Little League home run. Single, E8, great relay. Home run to the next batter. You got a 4-2 game. So Skylar Rigby, Addie Leitner, Heidi Wheelerts, they're part of the order due up. 6-7-8 against Samantha Heyer, the pitcher of the year in the Valley. Popped up, first base side, and into the dugout. This is the maximum as far as runs scored for Drake against UNI in now 3 games, going on 4 games. And they've made Heyer work up to 100 pitches with that last foul ball. 62% strikes for Heyer. Bouncing ball to short, gloved by Sanders, and on the run, a smooth play for the strong-armed shortstop Sanders.
First thing she did as she had to move towards the third base line is made sure she looked it all the way into the glove, took a couple of extra steps, had to throw across her body, but made a nice strong throw on target.
Here's Leitner with one away, top 6. And a swing and a miss. Ball drops out of there. Started mid-thigh, ends up with the shins. Leitner was pinch hit for last time. 0-2. Well, each of the last 2 innings, actually each of the last 3 innings. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Each of the last 4 innings, Drake has gotten the tying run to the plate.
Well, now they need a little bit of a rally. They were able to get that leadoff hitter on those last couple of innings. They gave one back in the bottom of the 5th, so maybe looking for the 1-out rally.
Popped up foul.
You know, the Bulldogs, they have to have some confidence in this ball game because the scores of the other 3 in the regular season, they gave up 9, in 2 of them 11-1. They've really held down. You got to credit the pitchers for the Bulldogs, the way they have held the Panther offense in check, only giving up the 4 runs so far.
The combination of Hupke and Dighton.
It's been good. I mean, Dighton, credit Dighton. She came in, did a really nice job in the middle innings. And then Hupke coming back in and having a really nice inning this past one to shut down that rally. So, you know, it's been a good combination for the Bulldogs. We talked about yesterday, Hupke just trying to keep that career alive as she will graduate and move on to the work world, the adult world after this tournament.
They've gone with the Dighton sandwich with Hupke bread today.
That's been pretty good for them.
It's obviously lunchtime.
And you apparently are hungry.
Here's the 3-2. Ooh, good rip at it for Addie Leitner. 3-2.
She's battling up there. She's making higher work. See what Higher has in her arsenal here.
Payoff. Swing and a miss. She can go up, she can go down. That's what she's got in the arsenal. And she's got another strikeout on pitch, 110 of the day. She gets her 10th strikeout.
Yeah, it was a good battle. Leitner put up a good fight, but in the end, nice little drop ball. Gets Leitner swinging right over the top.
Twelfth time this year that Higher has struck out 10 in a game or more. It's Heidi Wheeler with 2 outs, top of the 6th. Starting to get late for Drake, chasing 2 runs. And a swing and a miss. And the last start that Higher gave up runs in before today. It was a 17 strikeout game against Valpo a couple weeks ago. And came into this game, hadn't allowed a run in 11 consecutive innings. That included the perfect game against Evansville last weekend. That streak was up to 15 innings before last inning.
Well, she has just kind of settled in and found her groove, found the nice rotation and sequences that she wants to throw, and she's hitting the glove. I mean, she's hitting her spots, throwing with a lot of confidence. And you get a pitcher like that gets very confident, makes it very tough to try to touch her up for some runs.
Swing and a miss. That's what her catcher said. Alexis Papillo said that, you know, there are a lot of great things about Samantha Higher. Maybe the best thing, I can go through a whole game, and as her catcher, it feels like she never misses my glove.
I mean, that's high praise, and she has been that good. I mean, you have a catcher back there, and you know as the catcher, is my pitcher on or are they off? And what's working well and what's not working well. And she's, with Higher, seemed to have been on all season long. And, you know, it's a nice combination with Papillo back there, a young catcher. And this is going to be a good combination for the next year or so.
Emmy Wells has helped with that development, even though she's been injured. She's helped the freshman catcher along. Hasn't been a case of, I'm injured, I'm not going to be engaged.
And it's tough surgery to come back from, and you have to believe she's going to be just as strong and just as powerful a player as she was before the injury.
Wheeler's fought off a couple 2-strike pitches and can't fight that one off. It just evaporates from the zone on you. Hitting swings over the top and 11 strikeouts. 3 outs.
We love our new home,
Great neighborhood, big backyard.
but the lamps. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We saved a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like? Are there animals living underwater? Is the ocean warm?
Yeah, it can be very warm.
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger with house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You're taking this backyard thing really seriously. Oh, I get it. It's a tasty-looking burger. DQ, happy tastes good.
I mentioned it before how it's been all chalk so far in the Missouri Valley Softball Championship. 4-5 game. Indiana State beat the 12 seed yesterday. So they get Murray State and that great pitching staff coming up next. 1 p.m. Central Time right here on the Valley on ESPN. On ESPN Plus. R.C. McBride, Kerry Blaylock will call it.
It's going to be a good matchup. I think that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, sure should be. Nice, tidy, low-scoring game yesterday that Indiana State won, and Murray State, seems like every game's been that way for them this year, but watching their final series of the regular season against Missouri State, that good pitching against that good offense, it was a lot of fun. 3-2, 2-0, somewhere in that ballpark. That seems to be right where Murray State likes to play.
If I remember right, they played a 3-game series at Drake, and all 3 games went extra innings. 14 innings in that last game on the Sunday of the 3-game series. So they're happy if they get 1 or 2 runs. They can make it hold up.
They did the same thing. Murray State did the same thing against Belmont, I think, too. A couple extra inning games. 1-0, 1-0, maybe 2-0. As Hupke's back in there for the 6th inning and works up and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is Sammy Moss. This has been a good spot in the lineup today for UNI. Moss started. She walked in the 2nd. Then Hannah Kelly came in with a pinch hit, RBI single, RBI double after that.
Northern Iowa, Coach Jacobs seems to be pulling all the right strings here in this ball game, making the moves of the pinch hitters, pinch runners. It has paid off.
Bouncing ball to the left side. Koenig snags it, and the low throw is dug out. The corners have been nice in this game, both ways.
Yeah, both. It's been the hot corner for both teams at third and at first, and everybody's making the plays that come their way.
Here's Lamprecht down at the bottom of the order for UNI. 1 away, bases clear. Hupke trying to give Drake a chance, down just 2 in their final at-bat in the 7th. If Hupke can get it there, it'll be Rice, who's shown to be a skilled bunter in this game. The bunt she put over the pitcher, she'll lead it off, and then it'll be Lehman and Valtman at the top for the Bulldogs. If anybody can reach their top home run hitter, Emma Dighton, will get a chance to swing.
That's where they would like to get it.
Oh, the ball is crushed foul. Not your typical number 9 hitter.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. You see that swing, that power, how it gets off the bat so quickly. You're not thinking that's the number 9 hole in the lineup.
The ball ended up at the Holiday Inn Express in Marion. That's a strike. That is a pitcher's pitch. Pinpoint, outer black at the knees.
She's been so good at locating that pitch, and she does keep the ball down. She's got a pitch that a lot of times she will throw down and into a hitter to get him out.
And tried to expand it a little bit. Not a bad thought, right?
Now, and a little smile from Hupke, and knowing that they want to try to get her to chase a little bit after a pitch. Don't want to give her anything up in the zone.
And fouled back. Staying to that outside.
Trying to work, put a little spin on it, work away from her, not allowing her to get anything where she can level it, barrel it up, and drive it. We saw the long foul ball and what she can do with a pitch that she could handle.
Hupke called her curveball her number one pitch. Pitch that she can manipulate by millimeters if she needs to. And move it up and down the barrel, get that soft contact. Playing with that outside corner right now, spinning it away from the right-handed bat of Lamprecht.
This Panther offense is disciplined too. They're very patient at the plate. They do not swing at a lot of bad pitches.
Payoff. He spins it outside. So Lamprecht walks after she was in the two-strike hole. And a one-out base runner for the Panthers. So Hupke dealing with base runner, and Greta Hartz will come into pinch run. Another Iowa native. Started at Indian Hills Community College, then here to Northern Iowa. So it'll be Hartz to run. Top of the order coming up, Kylie Sanders for UNI.
Both of these schools, being in the state of Iowa, recruit Iowa very heavily. Several junior colleges in Iowa that have strong softball programs that are helpful to both of these coaches as well, that they have good relationships with the coaches and communicate back and forth about players that may fit well into their program.
You know what's confusing? Des Moines Area Community College. They don't play their games in Des Moines.
No,
play them in Boone, right?
They play them in Boone.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's the main campus in Des Moines.
Right, downtown there. I guess emphasis on area.
The Des
Moines area Community College.
Even though Boone is about 40 miles from Des Moines.
A little bit of a haul. So when Drake got Dighton, I was thinking, oh, nice hometown get. I guess it's close enough.
And she's actually from Boone. Played her high school ball at Boone High School. Won a state championship.
But it was a nice home area get.
Yes.
Emphasis on area.
Again.
2-1 to Sanders. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Rigby ready to throw if Hartz was on the move. And again, Miller gets over and she's standing on second base. They don't want to be caught with that surprise delayed steal.
Big secondary there, but Hartz hangs on. 3 balls, 2 strikes. You can see it, Rigby's ready to pounce. Hartz does go.
Rigby's kind of their emotional leader back there. She lets everybody know how she's feeling, lets the emotions out, and as one on the team that gets the Bulldogs kind of fired up.
Runner goes. Sanders slices it foul. And for UNI and all their power, the big average that they hit for, 362 as a team in conference games. Still take their chance of stealing bases. Second in the league, just behind Missouri State in that area.
Yeah, you look at those stats and, the number 1 and number 2 seed are two teams that take some chances, have some speed, put the runners in motion, give themselves a chance to maybe, you have to make that defense make the play. Could it cause an error? Could it disrupt things? And I think that's part of it too. I mean, you've got to make the opponent make the play, and if they can throw you out, then, hey, tip the cap to them.
Ground ball to short. Miller to her left. Got to hurry it there, and got it there in time. Oh, Hart's the pinch runner. Speedy up from first to second base, but Miller and Wheeler combined to get the force.
Boy, very close, and a big cloud of dust over there at second base. I think Coach Jacobs going to go talk to the umpires about it. And I think they might take another look at this one.
I would if I were them.
I would too. Miller had to go deep into the hole, took a little time to get to it, and had to turn those shoulders to make the throw and get the force.
They will review it. Into the 10th with Jack Watkins. Be a good podcast.
Jack would have a lot to say.
So review at second base. This is going to have a pretty good chance of getting overturned, I think, don't you?
I think so. I mean, yes, there was a big dust storm down there by second base. And this is going to be a good look here.
Maybe not. The foot of Hart's might still be airborne on that slide. And remember, out on the field, so cloud of dust might go Drake's way.
You're right. The closer you look at it, and when they slow it down, it is a little closer than I think both of us thought.
Hang a sign on this replay that says, "Excuse our dust." Hard to work through it. What do you think? Anything there?
You know, when you slow it down, boy, as I say, it's closer than what I thought from watching it in real time. I mean, Miller had to go deep into the hole as a long throw. It was kind of a slow developing play. And I think you're going to get it frame by frame here. She might be out. I think you're right. I think the foot might still be up in the air.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet that tells me
that's
definitely safe. I don't think there's anything there.
And here they come. So that call stands. There truly was not enough there, I don't think, to overturn it. It was very close, and I think both you and I looked at it when that play happened. We both went, maybe they should take a look at it.
Well, if that play happens in the first inning, the result of that review might be different because the infield's watered at that point.
Right? Yeah, it might be a different look.
I don't think you get that big dust storm you're talking about. So 2 outs, and this ball's crushed in the air to left, and that ball leaves the yard. Papillo, for the second time in this game, goes deep, and some cushion in the bottom of the 6th for UNI.
Didn't waste any time after the review. Steps right into the box, was aggressive as they go through the line. A little congratulations. Again, just so calm and so steady at the plate. Keeps her nose right on it and drives it out to left center field.
Flex to her teammates. Looks like she flexed up into the crowd, too. Her parents are here, making the trip down from Crystal Lake, about 40 minutes outside of Chicago. You know, that strength, she credits that a lot to her dad. Her dad was, she was telling a story this week, her dad was a UPS driver, and she said he was out of shape, wanted to lose some weight, so she was 11 years old. Dad took her to the gym with her, and they held each other accountable. She lost 15 pounds. Her dad lost 50 pounds.
You know, that's a credit to both of them for knowing that what they needed to do and then put together a plan of holding each other accountable. Hey, you want to go to the gym? Not today. Yes, you do. I mean, those are the things that you have to have a buddy, that buddy system, because that's a tough thing to do. To be able to get yourself up and on your own and say, I'm going to go. I mean, I know there's people out there that do it and they're religious about going to the gym to work out, but when you're not really that fanatic about it, you got to have somebody pushing you a little bit, and those two did.
2-2. Counts full. Well, cool dad-daughter bonding in that way as well. You think of having a gym buddy, I think first thought for a lot of people would be, maybe somebody your age, but good way to bond with dad in that way.
It's a family bonding thing.
Payoff. Papillo, who just hit her second home run of the year, she's gone from that, 11 years old, first time she was lifting weights, to obviously a powerhouse in the weight room and at the plate now. After college, she wants to be a competitive lifter.
Well, I think she could probably do it. I think she's tough enough and has the mindset and has been doing it for a long time.
And by the way, she tied her teammate again for home runs. 2 in this game for Papillo, so her and Dodge, 3 home runs combined. They both have 17 on the year. Leading the team for UNI. Another payoff. Ball 4. Parks, second time that she's drawn a walk. Her third reach of the day. And now Dodge gets a chance to snatch that lead right back after her 17th home run of the year earlier today.
Well, I wouldn't put it past her to try to get a couple of rips to see if she could do it, knock one out of here.
That's outside, 1 ball, no strikes. The winner of this game gets the winner of the next game here on the Valley on ESPN. A 4-5 matchup. Semifinals waiting the winner. Come on, 1-0. And later tonight, 4 o'clock, the 7 versus 2 matchup, Belmont, Missouri State. As Tina D'Angelo, pitching coach for Drake, comes out here. Hupke walked a batter, now has a 2-0 count. Yeah, it'll be 2 against 7, Missouri State against Belmont. Then the hosts, SIU, they're the 6th seed. And the last team to play in this tournament, Illinois State, the 3 seed, after getting their bye into the quarterfinal rounds. Play tonight at 7 o'clock.
Salukie's going to be riding a wave of momentum after that big win last night.
Great crowd here last night.
It was a really good crowd.
Well, if everything holds as chalk, and it's 1 seed versus 2 seed, it would be rematch of last year's championship game. It's outside, runner takes off, throw to second is skipping in short. And then a stolen base from Madison Parks. It was Drake and Northern Iowa in Springfield last year in the semifinals. 9-1 Northern Iowa win, run rule game. Outside, ball 4, and back-to-back walks from Hupke. Have him at first and second.
Just having trouble locating that pitch. She just can't seem to find the mark, and some days you just have, and she threw a lot yesterday, and Coach Calvert made the decision to take her out of this game early and has brought her back, and I think, yesterday, you watch her today, maybe doesn't have the same kind of movement and pace to her pitches as she had yesterday.
And can't find the zone right now. McElrath ahead in the count, 1-0. And Rich Calvert's headed toward the home plate umpire. And change will be made. Dighton can come back in. Was that the last pitch we've seen in Mackenzie Hupke's career? And Dighton back in after this. Bottom 6 in a 4-run game.
I'm your overly competitive brother.
Check.
Psych.
Really? Dude, that's a foul!
But now you're ready to settle a score. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger with house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You're taking this backyard thing really seriously. Oh, I get it. It's a tasty-looking burger. DQ, happy tastes good.
And call to the bullpen brought to you by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference, and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, it is the mark of a pro. So back and forth in the pen for Drake. Back to Emma Dighton, who was in earlier, re-enters for Mackenzie Hupke, and throws a first pitch strike to Addison McElrath. And Drake went into this inning chasing just 2. If they could keep it there, some optimism that, part of the order that's coming up, they could rally. A little steeper now, thanks to the 2-run home run from Alexis Papillo, her second of the game.
And her 2 home run swings are they're smooth. It's all timing, getting those hips turned, that leg drive, and barreling up.
Oh, hot shot to third. What a snag, and the tag is there in time. Koenig put a star on that play. Maybe saved another run. On to the last chance.
Geico has been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around. Lips are burning.
Geico, over 85 years of savings and service.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather or get away, this is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like? Are there animals living underwater? Is the ocean warm?
Yeah, it can be very warm.
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
To the moms, mamas, and mumsies, they deserve the mother of all Mother's Day treats, a DQ cake. Layers of soft serve with fudge and crunch center. So let's raise our red spoons to a cake as sweet as she is. DQ, happy tastes good.
Pitcher of the year, Samantha Heyer, 11 strikeouts today. She's our State Farm player of the game. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your State Farm personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote now. 11 strikeouts, over 100 pitches, and 2 unearned runs. It was just an error that allowed Drake to score their 2 against the pitcher of the year today.
Well, a lot of those strikeouts, as you saw in that sequence there, up in the zone, that rise ball really working well for her.
And now it's up to Kaylin Packard to close it out. In a 4-run game for UNI. She gets 9-1-2 in the lineup for Drake. Doesn't get much easier when they go to the bullpen with Packard. And that's in there for a strike to Rice, 1-1. Packard, former Missouri Valley pitcher of the year, second team All MVC this season. Her last 4 games, Laura, ERA of 0.42.
And so nobody's hitting her?
Nobody's hitting her, nobody's scoring against her. And if they are, it's not her fault. That's what ERA tells you.
No, and you just have seen by the pitches that she's thrown so far, variety of pitches that she has, and she throws hard. She gets the ball to the plate quickly. She'll throw you a curveball. She goes up and down in the zone as well. Good fastball. And then she'll mix in a little bit of a change as well to keep you off balance.
So Drake down to their final 2 strikes. Or final 2 outs, excuse me. You get 3 strikes still. Rules didn't change. It's Haley Levin and Emily Voltman up here at the top. And it's been a hard year for Drake. They're not used to being an 8 seed. They're used to being a top 4 seed. Injuries, losing some close games. They did feel confident that they could come in here and mix things up a little bit and outperform what their record says they are. But they knew it would take almost being perfect in the circle to do that.
And they just they've had their moments in the circle, they've had their moments hitting, just have been on opposite days and separate days. They have not really been able to put it all together. I have to say yesterday's game might have been one of their best and most complete games.
2 up, 2 down with strikeouts for Packard. So it's up to Voltman. And a swing and a miss. Oh.
There's that off speed, and that's you get that aggressive hitter up there, and Voltman, who's a power hitter, kind of a free swinging hitter, pulled the string on her right away at that first pitch.
She could have swung 3 times at that. 1-1. Well, the headlining senior for Drake. Seen her a lot last couple days, Mackenzie Hupke. Drake doesn't rally here with 2 outs. She'll be off into the real world. It's inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. You think about the run of aces that Drake has had. Well, they've all been named Nicole the last 8 years. Nicole Newman and Nicole Timmons. But what a great add as the ace this year Hupke has been. What a great career she's had. It's popped up. Papilla might have a play, and she does to secure the win for Northern Iowa. 6 innings of higher and a 1-2-3 7th for Packard, supporting the 2 home run day for Papillo, and UNI is on to the semifinals, winning their 18th consecutive game.
And it wasn't as easy for them as the other 3 games in the regular season were against the Bulldogs. They had to fight and claw, and they knew they were in a ball game today against Drake, but eventually got those insurance runs, and the pitching was just stellar for the Panthers.
All right, our player of the game, Laura, is presented by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference in the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, the mark of a pro, and Papillo did it not once, but twice. She now has 17 home runs on the year and a 2 home run game in her first ever postseason game.
And she has been so good and so steady at the plate and just shows off her power 2 times today.
And she'll be on to the semifinals tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That's the scheduled first pitch. Awaiting their opponent, though, that's our next game, 4-5 game, Indiana State and Murray State. Laura Leonard, our entire Tupelo production crew, the Valley on ESPN executive producer, Jack R. Watkins Jr., Connor Onion, saying goodbye for now from Charlotte West Stadium in Carbondale. It's a 6-2 winner, the 18th consecutive win for Northern Iowa. Our first pitch of the next game scheduled for 1 o'clock, but it's 1:13. That's the official first pitch time for 5th seed Indiana State and 4th seed Murray State. We thank you for watching. Hope you stay tuned for 3 more games coming your way today on the Valley on ESPN.
It's time to do your spring at the Home Depot. Whether you're planning a new patio or a backyard deck, a place to gather, or get away. This is your season, your space, and your place to bring it all to life. Do your spring all season long with store-wide savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Wait, Dad. What's the